Traders from along the Indo-Myanmar border start trickling into the morning bazaar at Moreh town in Manipur's Tengnoupal district at around 6 a.m. They have 6 hours to sell their goods before the curfew is clamped in. A variety of food items, flowers, garments, cosmetics and spices are put up for sale. But there are fewer buyers. The Indian rupee Burmese kyat flowing exchange rate varies. Influenced by a number of factors, both currencies are acceptable to traders. Moreh constitutes about 40 to 50% of the state economy through the informal trade between India and Myanmar that has been going on since decades. As a border place, it has been struggling on multiple fronts. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the small border town of Moreh used to be a thriving business hub of informal trade between India and Myanmar. The pandemic, the political instability in Myanmar, and the current ethnic conflict in Manipur has brought life to a standstill for the business community here that is largely dependent on this informal trade. Not just India, but those in Myanmar are suffering equal losses too. The Indian traders who have not been caught in the conflict between two communities say their patience is running thin. Located about 109 km south of Imphal, at the point where NH102 or the Asian Highway 1 ends and enters the Burmese territory, Moreh has grown in importance since the early 1960s. After General Ne Win came to power in Burma by disposing Premier U Nu in a coup. From around that time, a large number of Indians, mainly Sikhs and Tamils, who had been engaged in trade and commerce in Burmese towns and cities, started arriving in Moreh. They gradually established links with Burmese traders, and it led to a flourishing clandestine trade between the two countries.
This trade was started by the Tamil movements in the year 1962, 63, 64. Actually, it is a barter system. So the women used to take some salt, soap, then sugar, lungis, only few, 2, 3 lungis, and they go to Tamu. And Tamu also they cannot enter inside the interior town. The outer state, there were lot of fields, paddy fields, so they used to go to the farms. And they used to give all these things, and they get rice, dal, not in cash, but with things. They used to exchange. So they used to bring the rice, dal, and again they used to sell it at Moreh. Then they buy again. The next day they used to go to Tamil. So like this while they were doing, so these lungis and all, when the Tamil people, when they had some invitation of to go down to Kalvidio or Kalulwa Mande, so these people used to wear these lungis and they used to go. So the people that their relatives, they used to ask that it is so nice and how you get it and all. So these people again they interest them to get some more news. Like this, the business story started today up to export and import.
The Border Trade Chamber of Commerce representatives in Moreh explained how trade has suffered a hit in the past few years.
Ever since the COVID hit the world, you can say, the border was sealed. And the business came to a stop. Previously, we could cross the border up to 16 kilometers and even go into Myanmar without any problems if we had a passport. And even the Myanmaris could come into Moreh. So trade was moving along quite smoothly at that period. And when the COVID hit, so we had no alternative, or the governments had no alternative but to seal the border and to restrict the movement of the people. So trade came to a stop virtually at that period. Later on, as time passed a little, so things eased a little. And then later on, when in 2021, when the army regime took over in Myanmar, it came to a complete stop.
Life has been difficult for both the Indian business community of Moreh and its Myanmar counterpart from Tamil, only about 3 kilometers away. Because of the ethnic conflict in Manipur and the continually worsening situation in Myanmar, business has been poor. Locals have been left distraught, and the rise in prices of essential commodities has added to the crisis.
காலம்பர 6 மணிலேருந்து 11 மணி இப்போ 8 ஹவர் அவர் படாதியா 12 பஜே 12 வரைக்கும் விட்டுருக்காங்க. ஆனால் எங்களுக்கு வேலை வெட்டி இல்லை, பணம் கிடைக்குது, காசு இல்லை, வாங்க சக்தி இல்லை. என்ன அதனால ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுறோம். இந்த முறையில் பிஆர்இ மக்களும் கஷ்டம், தமிழ்நாடு ஏதோ இருக்கிறவங்க வாங்கி சாப்பிட்றாங்க, இல்லாதவங்க ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுறாங்க. அது மேலிடத்தில் வர்றாங்க, போட்டோ பிடிக்கிறாங்க, எரிஞ்சதை பிடிக்கிறாங்க. வந்துடும் வந்துடும் எல்லாம் காசு கிடைக்கும், அனுப்பி வைக்கிறோம்.
अभी 1967 में आया है मोरे में पंचायती स्कूल में टीचिंग किया है. हम रिटायर हो गया है. हम लोग तकलीफ में, पब्लिक भी तकलीफ में, कोई चावल ना, कोई हाथ में जो पैसा है, काम धंधा है, कुछ भी नहीं है. इसने ऊपर में अब क्या बोलना है, यही है.
Abdul Karim, from the native Tamil community, has been living here since 1964. Earlier into garment business, Karim now sells products exported from Mandalay, Myanmar. He's not certain if business could be revived, but is determined not to leave Moreh for livelihood opportunities elsewhere in Manipur.
अभी तो हो गया, मिट गया. दोबारा ये चालू होने वाला नहीं, होने वाला मालूम नहीं.
तो कैसा चलेगा आपका बिजनेस? क्या सोच रहे हैं बिजनेस?
अभी हम लोग घर के साथ में जो दुकान है ना, वही चलाता है. हम लोग तो दूसरा एरिया लेके जाने से भी बिक्री कोई बोलने वाला नहीं है. मोरे वासी लोग एक दो तो लेता है, और बड़ा बड़ा मणिपुर लोग आके लेने वाला तो नहीं आएगा, नहीं आता अभी तक. वही टाइम में तो बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत अच्छा था. कुछ जमीला नहीं है, झंझट नहीं है, कुछ हंगामा नहीं है. अभी तो हो गया, पूरा मिट गया. बर्मा ननफॉर्म भी मिट गया, और मोरे का ये नंबर 2 एरिया भी मिट गया, और मॉर्निंग बाजार भी मिट गया.
Of the 390-kilometer border Manipur shares with Myanmar, Moreh has a shared boundary of 27 kilometers, of which 10 kilometers is fenced to check infiltration and prevent cross-border smuggling, particularly of narcotics and contraband. Moreh has seen relative calm since past few days, even as the situation across the state remains tense. I'm standing at the Indo-Myanmar border. One side is Manipur, this is Moreh border town, and the other side is Myanmar. This is the 10-kilometer fenced Indo-Myanmar border, and if you can see, the security forces, the Assam Rifles troops here are standing guard. They stand guard, they patrol here day and night, and there's been no compromise on border security, even at the time of conflict that has broken out in Manipur since May 3. The small town of Moreh is struggling at multiple fronts. Locals in the border town want curfew hours to be relaxed further and goods to flow in from Imphal. They want healthcare and medical supplies.
People from all communities are suffering. They have been hit. Business has been hit. We, especially people living in the hill areas, you can say, we cannot go out into the valley. Even if we can go, we cannot bring any goods, commercial goods, or even you can say rations also we cannot bring from Imphal into Moreh. People from business community in Myanmar also is losing, because there are many local people in Imphal, you can say in Moreh, in Imphal especially, who are earning their livelihood through goods being imported from Myanmar, especially these Chinese products, you can say. So they have been hit. And their business has gone down drastically, you can say. Similarly, we business community of Moreh, we are exporting goods into Myanmar. And if we cannot bring goods from inland, you can say we have nothing to sell.
People who live in Moreh consider trade as a means to make a living. They want business to resume without interruptions. Many traders and small businessmen from outside the state have left the town for better prospects.
You can imagine the loss, the taxation that the exchequer is losing and the state government is losing. So it's quite immense. And you can say that the movement of people from Moreh to Imphal and Imphal to Moreh daily, it goes into thousands. There are so many vehicles flying up to and fro, so many people coming, so many local people doing their businesses. We people also have been sitting in our places, our shops, our homes for the past 4 months. We cannot move out. As you must have assessed the situation, you can imagine if the border is sealed and our customers cannot come into Moreh. So what are we to do even if we open our shops for 3, 4, 5 hours? There are no local customers. We are dependent on Myanmar and Myanmar is dependent on us.
People on both sides of the border continue to live in fear and uncertainty due to prevailing circumstances. Many traders ThePrint spoke with said they are looking for alternatives.
The current situation and the government being unable to solve it or whatever, to suppress it. So this has gone against the business. People from inland who wanted to invest in Moreh and who wanted to set up, you can say, small industries or whatever it is, now they have withdrawn. They would not like to invest in Manipur especially, you can say. You can say that business from Moreh has shifted to other borders, you can say Mizoram, or even you can say Arunachal also, and even to Thailand also.
It has been nearly 4 months since the ethnic conflict broke out. On ground, parts of Moreh have turned into heaps of ashes. An eerie silence prevails during curfew hours. Security forces stand guard throughout the length and breadth of the town and along the international border. The district administration is making efforts to consult all stakeholders in view of the crisis situation, even as people wait for a solution. All that locals want is for peace to return soon. From Moreh, Karishma Hasnat, ThePrint.